All right, so let's do a test run of it. We're going to do it for Rally Racket. And this is going to be a pickleball website. So all you have to do is put in your niche here and then come over here and select your site. We're going to do Rally Racket. You can select whether or not you want auto or manual. I highly suggest manual at first. That way you get a feel for it. If you want to give auto out, or if you want to give auto a try after that, then you can. As I said a couple times already, it does not work the way it's supposed to, and it will have issues, so expect it. But definitely, we're going to run manual for now. Hit generate goal of niche. And what this does is going to send a request, and basically it's going to ask AI to create a goal for the niche that says, I'm planning to develop an authority website focused on engaging recreational players and competitive athletes of all ages who seek a fun and social way to stay active and improve their skills. That's good. That's good. Now over here, we're going to select what kind of outline we want. We'll go ahead and stick with Markdown because that works just fine in Koala now. Actually, all of these work fine in Koala. So just select whichever one you prefer. It doesn't really matter unless you're using a different AI writer, and then just use the one that best works for that AI writer. So we're done with the goal of niche. Let's go ahead and start generating categories. See what it comes up with. And as you see in the status, when it starts, it'll say in progress. And it'll actually tell you after it's generated the categories that it moves on to, creating subcategories. So you're always going to know where you're at. But since we're doing manual, we actually have to go to the next sheet over. See, as it's loading them in here. Now, manual is much faster than auto. Auto, I have delayed to about 5 minutes. So you'll only see one of these pop in every 5 minutes. I'll be speeding that up once it works a little better. But as of now, that's one way to get it to run a little better. All right, now this is running, and it's going to probably produce between 50 and 80 different categories and subcategories. And over here on the side, you'll see the category it's working in. So introduction to pickleball. And the subcategory is overview of pickleball, basic rules of pickleball, equipment essentials, and getting started. Now, a lot of these are going to intertwine. Like getting started and basic rules are pretty close to each other. So at that point, you might want to only run one of them. But if you want to run both, you can. So we're going to go ahead and do basic rules right now, run for topics. And it'll say in progress once it's picked up. Yeah, see, in process. And that'll start spitting them out over here on topics and thesis. Now, I don't want you to run too many at the same time because that's when you start to have issues. So if you're running the categories still, don't start doing topics and thesis. You could start creating topics, but once you start doing more than 2 at the same time, that's where it's going to have issues. Okay, so this is done. So topics created. This one's done from here. We can click a few more. And you can queue these up. You can't do like 20 at a time, but you can do 5 to 10 at a time for sure. No problem. And we'll just do all the introduction to pickleball. Get that whole category knocked out. And if you want to check to see if something didn't get sent through, this is run for topics over here. So you want to go to create topics. And it'll show you the errors down here. It'll show in yellow. So we didn't have any errors, which means it's going to create all of those topics just fine. It'll go through as I've clicked them. See, I clicked these before I clicked that one up there. And I think I clicked that one up there right after this one. So you'll see that one start after that. And the whole time it's filling this in over here. As of right now, it's set to do, I believe, between 5 and 8 per subcategory topics. So yeah, see how it's doing them sequentially. So as you click them, as the automation is triggered, it does it in the exact order you click them in. And if it doesn't, that means you probably had an error, which is fine. So give it a minute. If it doesn't go into process, exit out and hit run topics again. Not a big deal. And you'll have to do that a lot if you try to run auto. That's part of the problem. It sends too many too quickly. All right, yeah. See, it's spitting them out pretty good. And so far we have 67, 68 categories and subcategories. And it's going to make 5 to 8 per subcategory. And that is still running. Okay, it's done. So we're finally done with categories. We ended up getting, looks like 72 total categories and subcategories, which is good. We'll do a couple more of these. Run for topics. Run for topics. Now, there's still a lot of clicking with manual, but it's definitely a lot easier than prompting in the chat with ChatGPT for sure. And again, if you want to double check if it went through properly, I'm trying to see if I can get the error out, but it's not. It's actually doing pretty good. But it'll show up as yellow instead of green in there when it has an issue. All right, so let's go ahead and start running some topics here. Let's delete that record. All right, so essential guide to getting started with pickleball. Ooh, that's a great one. That's a great topic. So you go to status, just click the ready button, and then go to get audience and thesis. And that one, we'll queue a couple of them up. Sometimes it takes a minute for them to kick in. Again, if you want to double check that it's working, go down here. Yeah, you'll see they all went through perfectly fine. Let's see if we caused a problem on this one. There we go. Okay, we finally got it. So it looks like it's a little over 10 is where you start having issues. So those last two we sent did not send properly. Yeah, we got a 400 error. So basically it's maxing out the queue and the automation. So don't go past 10. That seems to be our limit. So these two we need to rerun. And if you do that and you notice you do it, just wait for it to all finish. And then the ones that don't get picked up, I know it was those ones. So just go ahead and resend them. Yeah, and they went through perfectly fine that time. All right, it's finally picking these up. There we go. Sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it doesn't. It's no big deal. Not a huge rush. And then once you get this done, you got the topics, or we got the thesis and the audience, so we can just go ahead and generate any kind of outline we want. We'll do markdown. I don't want to do too many outlines and audience and thesis while you're running the category topics because that will stop it up. So just keep that in mind. Go slow. Full auto, even if it was working properly right now, it would take actually quite a bit longer than the manual process. So manually is better overall. I'm not looking at any of this stuff. I'm not double checking anything, but you should be double checking this stuff, making sure it's something you actually want to write about, especially when it comes to equipment reviews. So we made it through quite a bit. As you can see, it is still in the process of running. We've got through 50, or we've got 50 at least queued up or not. Or anyways, out of the 80 total. And so far it's come up with 44 topics to write about. And we've already produced 22, 23, 24 now, audience and thesis. And we have 17 of them already have outlines that you can just go ahead and copy. And straight over to Koala Writer and top. You just copy it straight into the custom outline and then set up all your settings for the brands you have. And you're good to go. Just go ahead and create article at that point. Easy peasy. This is about as easy as it gets for custom outlines and topical authority. Pretty much anything. This is as easy as it gets. So I hope it works out for you. And yeah, I guess if you need anything, just hit me up on Discord. All right, I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to get off here. Have a great day.